Hey guys, this is Patrick and you're watching Patrick Programs. So this video is going to be about why I chose computer science. And the idea here is just to give you guys some perspective on why anybody might do computer science and maybe, if you're choosing computer science for the right reasons. Because some people would argue that, I didn't choose it for the right reasons and I just kind of got into it. And, that's what I think. I think it just happened to me by chance. So, let me tell my story. When I was younger, I had an older cousin, and that older cousin, he was like my guide, and he was somebody that I really looked up to. And I would speak to him on the phone all the time. Like, I got home from school, I'd call him and I would talk to him until nighttime sometimes. And he was into like, anime and Japanese stuff and technology and computers. And it just so happens at that time, he was doing computer science. So, he would teach me some things, tell me a little bit about computers, and I never got deep into it, but it was also always something on my mind, something like in the background somewhere. And then, yeah, one day he just left, he went to the military, and I didn't talk to him for a while after that. So fast forward, I start college. And in college, when you start your first day, they expect you to, pick a major. So you go and you sit down with an advisor and they try to figure out, what major is best for you. So I went and spoke to the advisor and I kind of had a general idea of what I wanted to do, and I figured maybe something in tech. So then I joined this engineering technology major, which is just a program, I guess they put, to make money ultimately. I think it's what it really is, because it's not really an intensive program and you don't really gain much from it. It's just a made-up program. A lot of programs out there are kind of made up, and I think that's one of them. So I started that program, and, I was doing okay in it. But then eventually, I don't remember how, but I found out that, continuing down this road would not be lucrative for me at all, and I would just end up not being able to get a job afterwards. So I took some time to think about what I wanted to do, and I prayed on it. I did everything I thought I had to do. And I thought about, maybe going to law school, and, I also thought about becoming a nurse, things like that. And, I couldn't really figure anything out. So I was still kind of like undecided. And then I ended up meeting this guy. I won't, drop his name here. But I met this guy who I felt like was really smart, and he was, helping me out. He was a tech at the college. He was pursuing a master's degree in computer science at the time, and he would talk to me about things. And he was the first person that I met who thought the way that he did, and I was really impressed by it because I never had that experience before. Meeting such like a logical person who really reasoned things through. That was my first time really meeting somebody like that. He mentioned computer science and he spoke to me about it. He told me how it's difficult, and he mentioned like, some of the math, but he also told me that it's doable. It's something that I could do if I were to try it. So part of the reason, like, computer science had come to my mind before in the past, but the reason I chose not to do it, and I think the reason a lot of people don't go into computer science, is because they hear that it's like really math intensive, and unless you're like a math god, you're not going to be able to do it. And I'm not a math god, like for me in college, I had to start from the bottom of the bottom. I had remedial math, then I had to take some type of stupid guy's algebra, and then I went to like trigonometry, and then I took, it was just awful. So I thought that you had to be a math god, and so did a lot of other people. But he told me that you don't have to be a math guy. You just need to do the math. That's what it comes down to, just doing the math and doing the work. Thought about it. I gave it some time, and then me not knowing what I wanted to do at the time, I started like connecting dots, and really trying to talk to the universe about what I should do because I was so undecided. And what happened was I just thought about, okay, maybe this is what I meant to do, like the people that I really look up to and who I think are great, they're all doing something like this. My cousin was doing computer science, and now this guy's doing computer science, and I was like, let me give it a shot. Let me try it out. So I took a programming class, and when I took the programming class, my first day when they were going over if statements and, all like loops and things like that, I mean, I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like, it gave me perspective on like how a computer works and how you can tell it what to do. And I just thought it was really cool. And I knew that, you know, I could do it because it was something that I was immediately interested in. So from there, I made a decision. I was like, okay, I'm going to pursue computer science. And from that moment, because like when I start something, I like to finish it, unless it's like a dumb idea to finish it. I started it and then I just took it to the end, you know, and it was a really, really tough and long journey, you know. It was hard. But I didn't choose to do it because I was like particularly good at math or because I love coding or anything like that. I did it because I felt like I could do it. I did it because I felt like it would be a challenge and I wanted to take up a challenge, and I knew that taking these classes would, you know, make me at least a little bit better, and I would hopefully be able to think a little bit better and reason better, you know, like some of these guys I looked up to. And this was also around the time where, like, you know, Facebook and all these crazy apps were coming out, and everybody wanted to build an app that was going to be successful, and, you know, you were going to make $1 billion and you would be rich and happy. So, I mean, that was a little bit of motivation there. It's like, oh, so if I get into computer science, then I'll be able to build something incredible and I'll be able to, you know, make something great. So that definitely pushed me towards, you know, going in that direction. Also, I did hear that, you know, these guys get paid pretty well. I don't think I really knew about that until a little bit later on, but, you know, I had an idea that being a computer scientist would give me a better path than some of the other majors I would have chosen to do. So I guess the point is, you know, I didn't really do any, I mean, I think at the time I did a little bit of research into it, you know. I mean, and research doesn't just consist of like looking online and looking at statistics and stuff like that. It's also, you know, it's also the people that you talk to and people who are already doing it, people who have experience, you know. You speak to them and then you do some research online. And that's what I did, but I didn't do like deep research. I just kind of like, you know, looked into myself and then made that decision, and it ended up being a good decision. So it seems. So I'm not a math guy. I'm not super passionate about programming. I did it because I felt like it was the best thing for me to do and that I could do it, and because it would challenge me, and because I thought that maybe I could be a black Mark Zuckerberg. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care.